والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. Last week we dealt with some of the special qualities and characteristics that the prophets and the messengers, the best human beings that they have, and no one else from Adam's children shares with them in those things. Salawatullahi wassalamu alayhim ajma'in. And that was an attempt to get every Muslim to appreciate the role that the prophets and the messengers have in the religion, the role that they play in our everyday lives. They're just not normal human beings, although they are human beings. So we have to stay in the middle. We don't say they're just human beings. We don't say that because they are not just human beings. They are mustafun, mukhtarun, divinely chosen by Allah. So they're not just human beings, but we also don't go overboard the other way and worship them and put them above the station that Allah has put them in, because they are human beings. So none of them deserves to be worshipped. They didn't allow people to go overboard in them. But today, I want to share, inshallah, some of the qualities that have come to us about our Nabi and our Rasul, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that no other prophet shares with him in these things. And again, it's an attempt to get us to have appreciation for who the Nabi of Islam is, Al-Mustafa Ahmed. There is an issue that some of the scholars said was a peculiar thing for him only, a khasisa, but Allahu Alam. The fact that he has so many names. But because we know that he has so many names doesn't negate that another prophet or messenger didn't have many names. We have to speak with dalil in these issues like that. It could be, but it's not one of those issues that we are definitive about. But as we mentioned a few times in this class, the Arabs, their practice was if something was important, they gave a lot of names to it. So he is Ahmed, he is Muhammad, he is Mustafa. He sallallahu alayhi wasallam is Al-Mahi, the one who wipes away what the other prophets and messengers brought, which is connected to some of his khasa'is. And we'll come to them, inshallah. He is Al-Aqib. Al-Aqib. It's a famous, popular Pakistani name. People from Pakistan, Al-Aqib is the one, no one's coming after him. No other Rasul, he's the last one. Sallallahu alayhi wasallam. He's the Nabi Rahma, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So he has a lot of names. Some of the ulama of Islam said, this is a special quality for him. We say, Allahu Alam, Allahu Alam, because he never said, I'm the only one who has all these names. But we want to share with you some of these issues. وَكَثِيرُ مَاهِ. There are quite a few. From them is the fact that our Nabi and our Rasul, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, is the Sayyid of Bani Adam. No one else can say that. He's the best human being ala al-itlaq. He's the best human being in the dunya and Yawm al-Qiyamah and in the Akhirah. He's the best human being. No one else can say that. No other prophet and messenger. So he is the Sayyid of Bani Adam. And he used to say that to people when he wanted to speak. He would say, Ana Sayyidu Bani Adam wala fakhr. I'm Adam's greatest son. I'm the greatest human being. And I'm not saying that out of bragging and being pride. I don't have that. But that's where Allah Azza wa Jalla put him. And what our mother Aisha used to always tell the people, what was collected by Imam Muslim, Umirna an nunazzil an-nas manazilahum. We have been commanded, put people in their proper place. Treat your father like the father. Treat the mudir like the mudir. Treat the one who's older than you like the one who's older than you. Treat the Muslim like the Muslim. Treat the police like the police. Don't treat the police as if they're no one and then you wind up getting hurt. Put people in their proper place. The scholar should be treated like a scholar. The one who gives the khutbah is not a scholar, so don't treat the one who gives the khutbah like a scholar. The scholar may not be good in giving a khutbah. He may not be good in giving a khutbah, So don't look at him as being lesser than the scholar. So if anyone deserves to be put in the proper place, it's the Nabi of Islam, Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa ala alihi wa sallam. From his characteristics is a tremendous issue that shows us the reality of our ummah today. And that is, he told the people, Nusirtu bi-ru'b, masirat al-shahr. I've been given this and no one else was given this from the prophets and the messengers. And that is, I have been made victorious over my enemies by a month's journey. A month's journey. The meaning of that is, when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam gained dominance in the Arabian Peninsula and people heard that he was coming to get you, he was already the victor, because the people didn't want to deal with that. When they saw how the companions were in fighting and things like that. And there are just too many examples in Mawaqif where the companions would tell some of the leading people of that day, I'm here as the messenger of Allah. I'm here as his messenger to tell you. But you need to understand, I have left behind some people, radiyallahu anhum, who love death more than you people love life. You want to live and you want money. I left behind me a group of people who's going to come and they love death because they want to go to Jannat al-Firdaus more than you love life. How do you deal with that individual? But now it has turned on us. Now, as the Prophet says, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we're going to have al-wahan. From the signs of Yawm al-Qiyamah, al-wahan hit the ummah. The companion said, what is wahan, ya Rasulullah? He says, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, hubbud dunya wa karahiyatul maut. The latter people are going to love the dunya and they're not going to want to die from this ummah. And the meaning of wanting to die is not throwing caution to the wind and we want to die. That's not the meaning. The best of you is the one who lives long and he does good deeds. We want to live. But the Muslim doesn't hesitate when it comes to defending his religion and so forth and so on. He doesn't look at the dunya as the dar that he's going to be here forever. So Allah mentioned in the Quran a situation I want to mention to you very quickly about the Muslims were given victory a month's journey. The time that it took the Muslims to get there, a month. When they got there, the people already defeated. وَقَذَفَ فِي قُلُوبِهِمَ الرُّعْبَ وَيُخْرِبُونَ بُيُوتَهُمْ بِأَيْدِيهِمْ وَأَيْدِي الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. Allah said he throws into the hearts of the disbelievers fear of the Muslims back then, radiyallahu anhum. They break up their homes and destroy their homes with their own hands and the hands of the believers. So when they heard that the companions were coming, they would vacate the premises and break up their houses and leave. They would not before they even meet them. So today, in 2024, these people are still shedding the blood of Palestinians, and our ummah can't stop it. Not only with the muwajaha, like fighting, not only with that, but just with dua. Allah accepts the dua. The dua in Allah is mustajab. There are times, places, people who are fasting, traveling, we're weak, but the dua is not accepted. Why is the dua accepted? Sometimes a lot of people are not living up to the dua, what it takes, like making shirk with Allah and things of that nature. So that's a khasisa of Rasulillahi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that Allah gave him victory. In addition to that, he mentioned sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and there's a tremendous khasisa quality that we have to appreciate. He says sallallahu alaihi wasallam, وَجُعِلَتْ لِيَ الْأَرْضِ مَسْجِدًا وَطَهُورًا فَأَيُّمَا رَجُلٍ مِّنْ أُمَّتِي أَدْرَكَتْهُ الصَّلَاةَ فَلْيُصَلِّ. No other prophet was given this, and that is, for my masjid, for my ummah, Allah has made the earth a masjid, and Allah has made the earth a purifier. So any man from my ummah, if the salat time comes, pray wherever you are. It wasn't like that for the Yahud. It wasn't like that for the Nasara. Things were difficult for them in their religion because of how they were. And that's why we have those many ayat those ahadith describing al-Islam. وَمَا جَعَلَ عَلَيْكُمْ فِي الدِّينِ مِنْ حَرَجٍ مِلَّةَ أَبِيكُمْ إِبْرَاهِيمَ. Allah didn't make things difficult for you in your religion. It's not difficult. So if a Muslim is traveling, or he finds himself in the university, or he finds himself at work, he doesn't have to stop his job, his education, and come to the masjid, because the earth has been made a masjid for him. He can pray anywhere in the earth, except just a few places. He can't pray in the corral of the camel, because the camel can possibly hurt him. He can't pray the salat of standing up in ruku and sajda in the maqbarah. He can pray janazah in the maqbarah, as the Prophet did, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but he can't pray the salat, dhuhr, juma in the maqbarah. He can't pray in a place where there's najasa, like in a toilet. And I know people who do this, or I've heard of people who did that, out of fear for their religion or whatever, not being seen, or going in the toilet in the airport or the toilet somewhere in the big stall, and you pray. You can't pray in there, because for all intents and purposes, urine is going to be on that floor. Allahu Alam. So you don't want to pray there. But what you do is, you find a place in that airport or something without getting yourself in trouble, unlike the toilet, and you go off to the side. And you pray where, no one's there to get on that airplane. No one's going to board in that area, for an example. But for the most part, most of these places, because of religious diversity, they are allowing people to pray. The same thing, the earth has been made a purifier. If a person doesn't have water, or he only has enough water for his essential needs to drink, that's all he has, then he just makes tayammum with the earth. It's a purifier. That was not for any other community in Al-Islam. When Allah Ta'ala described the dua of the believers, they say, رَبَّنَا لَا تَحْمِلْ عَلَيْنَا إِسْرًا كَمَا حَمَلْتُهُ عَلَى الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِنَا. Oh, our Lord, don't make it difficult in our religion on us like it was difficult for the ones who went before us. Bani Israel, if they wanted to make tawbah, they had to kill themselves to prove their ikhlas. Literally kill themselves. We don't have to do that. We make tawbah to Allah, and we make ikhla', and we leave that thing. الَّذِينَ يَجِدُونَ النَّبِيَّ الرَّسُولِ الْأُمِّيِّ مكتوب عندهم في التوراة والإنجيل يأمرهم بالمعروف وينهاهم عن المنكر ويحل لهم الطيبات ويحرم عليهم الخبائث ويدعو عنهم أسرهم والأغلال التي كانت عليهم, as Allah described them in the Quran. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Those people who follow the unlettered messenger and prophet, the one who they find him mentioned in the Torah and the Injil. What is characteristics in the Torah and Injil? He encourages and he commands to do the right thing. He prevents the people from doing the wrong things. He makes halal the good things. He makes haram the bad things. And he takes off of them israhum, the difficulties in the religion, وَالْأَغْلَالَ الَّتِي كَانَتْ عَلَيْهِ, and the chains that are on them. The chains, like the chain of a man trying to get close to Allah, as the Christians did, the monks, the priests, the nuns, not getting married. That's a chain. What are you talking about? Put a person in prison. He puts himself in prison. When we see the people of Iran, for an example, or anybody else, making ta'zeeb of himself, hitting himself, cutting himself, slapping himself, all of that stuff, not from our religion, all of that. So the Nabi of Islam, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, is religion. You can pray anywhere. Just remember those few places. You can pray anywhere. Umar, when he conquered and took the key of Bayt al-Maqdis, and the time for Salat came, and he was walking with the priests in the church, in the big church there, he said, I'm going to go, we're going to pray with the Muslims outside. We're going to pray, not in this church. The man said, Ya Amir Mu'mineen, pray here, and you make barakah, pray here. He said, I'm not going to pray here in the church so that the people who come after me think that's what we do. But sometimes the Muslims buy a church and they convert the church into a masjid, especially in the UK. Their pubs and churches have become masjids over there. Can we pray in the church in those situations? No, we pray in the church. But we get rid of those pictures and we get rid of those, what do you call those things? Those idols, those statues and so forth and so on. From the Concise of the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam, again, this is really important as well, is that the Prophet, he said sallallahu alayhi wasallam, uhillat li al-ghanaim wa lam tuhilla li ahadin min qabli. He said, it has been made permissible for me and my ummah, when I fight and when we fight, we can take the spoils of war. And that wasn't made halal for anyone before us. Again, being balanced, ikhwani, we don't encourage people, with this toxic masculinity. We got to be soldiers and warriors and we have to go and fight. Fight when, where? What are you talking about? Hey, take it easy and know the reality of our ummah and the reality of the dunya, and don't throw yourself into destruction and create unnecessary problems. But the other extreme is for people to forget about the position of jihad and things of this nature. Because this shows from how this ummah has special qualities. Our Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam would go and fight, and he told us what happened with the Prophet in the past. The people in the past would go and fight, and once they defeated their enemy, they would bring all of the spoils of war. The saddles, the swords, the spears, everything that their enemy were using against them. They would put it in the middle of the Maidan, and they would all back up. And they would wait for a fire to come from the sky and burn it up. And that was a sign that Allah accepted from them their jihad. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said there was a Nabi who his people backed up and the fire didn't come from the sky. A sign, it's a problem. Allah revealed to that Nabi, someone stole from the spoils of war. They made ghulul. He said to the people, inna fikum ghulul, someone stole the thing. Let every leader of the tribes come and give me a bay'ah, shake my hand. Everybody shook his hand. One man shook his hand and it got stuck. He said, the thief is from you. Long story short, they found out who did it. The man went and he brought, because he hid it, he went and he brought a nugget of gold the size of the head of a baqarah. He put it there, and then the head of the baqarah. This is a cow. This is important. Ghulul is from the akbar al-kabair. Rasulullah said, the mujahid, if he steals shoestrings, the shoestrings, he'll be burnt in the hellfire for those shoestrings. Because jihad is not fold, it's not crazy. Everybody, a group of people is going to go and kill and fight. That's not our religion. You will be recompensed, given money from your effort based upon what the leader said. You have this kind of horse, this kind of camel, back then, you will get this amount and that. It's just not craziness. It's a system to it. It's not like crazy. And then everybody has to bring whatever he found, and they have to give it to the leader, and the leader determines. Ala kullin, in our ummah, in this religion, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he was allowed that. And a lot could be said about that. Just bring your attention once again, ikhwani, to the issue of the reality of our ummah. We are in a time and a position of weakness. So as individuals, we all have to try to do better. Our families and so forth and so on. From the great qualities that the Nabi had is Yawm al-Qiyamah, he will be given the ability to intercede, the big intercession. Inshallah, the child will be able to intercede for his mother and the father, Yawm al-Qiyamah. The child that died in infancy will ask Allah, let my mother, my father come to Jannah. So if a person loses a child, take it easy. Doesn't mean you're not sad. The lady lost a baby, you lost a child. That child will intercede for the parents. Yawm al-Qiyamah, be a hijab from the adab of the nar. The parent can intercede for the child. So different people will be able to intercede. Different people. will be able to intercede. And there are different types of intercession. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has many types of intercession. One of the intercessions that he'll have is the ability to intercede for his uncle Abu Talib, who is a kafir, and he's going to the hellfire. And the Jannah is haram for him, but he'll get the least amount of punishment from the people in the hellfire due to Rasulullah's intercession, that those shoes will be made for him and they'll burn his head. But Allah's Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam's intercession cannot and does not allow him to go to Jannah. People can only intercede by the permission of Allah, and if Allah is pleased with that. So he has different kinds of intercession. He'll get the biggest intercession. The people will come to their father Adam, he'll say, I can't intercede. They'll go to Noah, I can't intercede. Ibrahim, I can't intercede. Musa, I can't intercede. Isa, I can't intercede. Go to Muhammad. Rasulullah will tell the people, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, I'm the one for that. And he'll ask Allah Azza wa Jal for the people who committed major sins and they deserve to go to the hellfire. Allah's Rasul will get them out of the hellfire. And some people they'll be prevented from going to the hellfire as well. So we ask Allah for the intercession of the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which brings me to the next important issue, and that is connected to that intercession. Rasulullah will get the Wasilah, the Wasilah, the Wasilah. And the Wasilah is a place in Jannah that is not for anybody else. He's in a place in Jannah, no one else is going to be there. No Nabi, no Rasul, salawatullahi wassalamu alayhim, and not even his wives. But we can be close to that place. He said, Ana wal yatim wa kafil yatim kahatini fil jannah wa farraqa. He separated. He said, I, along with the one who takes care of an orphan, anyone who takes care of an orphan will be with me in Jannah like this. Abu Hurairah said he put his fingers like this, not like that. You'll be in close proximity. Close, but you won't be with him. And that's why it's important when Abu Anas gives the adhan or any mu'adhin anywhere, Friday and other than that, we should take our time and say that dua. Oh Allah, give him the wasila. Give him the wasila. Allahumma rabba hadhihi da'wat al-tamma wa salat al-qa'ima. آت محمدا الوسيلة والفضيلة وابعثه المقام محمود الذي وعدته. Mahmud, whenever you hear that dua and your name is mentioned in that, does it mean anything special to you? So by making that dua, the Nabi says, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, anybody who makes this dua, that I get this wasila and the maqam al-mahmud, asa an yab'athuka rabbuka maqam mahmuda. Allah said, it may be, Ya Muhammad, Allah will give you that special place in Jannah. And it's only for a special servant. And that's for the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Before moving on, I have to say this. I make a jazm, absolutely with yaqeen, inshallah. Aisha is going to be close to the Nabi of Islam sallallahu alaihi wasallam in Jannah. And her father is going to be close. It's not even conceivable that we're sitting here and we hope, natamanna, narju, we hope, we want, and it's possible. May Allah give that to all of us and to our mothers and fathers. It's possible. You think you can get there and Aisha's not there? Abu Bakr is not there? The reason why I'm mentioning this is if we see people cursing Aisha and Abu Bakr, we say, for the one who curses them, we ask Allah to put us close. Wherever Abu Bakr and Uthman, Ali, wherever they are, put us close to them. Put them close to them. And whoever curses them, take them far, far away from them. And they know what they're doing. So those people just don't know what they're doing. It's just their deen and jahl and taqleed of their forefathers and all that. We're talking about those imams who know what they're doing. Those companions are the best of this ummah. So the big intercession is only for the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and also the Maqam al-Mahmud. So when the adhan goes off, do your best to try to say what the muaddin says, and also to say that dua afterwards. From that, and this is important, he said that he was given what is known as the Jawami' al-Kalam. And no one else was given that. The Jawami' al-Kalam. That means the ability he had, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, to say something that only had a few words connected to it, but it had far-reaching implications. It had a lot of hikmah connected. It's just a few words. Sometimes one harf and one kalima. It's just a few words that he would say to people and that he taught the people. And as a result of those words, there's a lot that comes from it. That's why he told people like us, he said, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, let those of you who hear my words go and tell people who don't and they didn't hear my words. Because it may be that the one who is being told to, you take it to someone and you tell him, I heard this hadith. And you tell him the hadith the way it went. He didn't hear that from the Rasul directly, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but because of his fiqh and his understanding, he'll understand from those words more than you. So what the companions do, as you all know, Umar would go and be with Rasulullah one day to hear what he said, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and his neighbor would do this work. When they met up, he said, this happened today, that happened, he said this, he said that. That man didn't hear it directly, but it's possible that man would understand those words better than the one that heard it. And that's why it's important for us to spread what we know of the dawah. You may know something from what was said, but it's possible that someone who you said it to, he understands it better. So the Jawami' al-Kalam, from that is another khasisa, is the Quran. Allah made the Quran muhayminan. What is muhaymin?
Overtake.
Yeah, muhaymin is like when you overpower something. The Quran came, his religion came, and it abrogated everything else. Abrogated the Torah, abrogated the Injil, the Suhuf of Ibrahim and Musa, the Zabur, everything. His Quran and his religion. And that's part of even Isa ibn Maryam coming back, salawatullahi wassalamuhu alayhi. He's going to tell the people, your imams, you are the imams of one another. I came into the masjid, Abu Anas was about to pray, and you guys stopped. The mudir turned around and said, come on. Isa ibn Maryam is going to come down, and the people are going to get ready to pray. They're going to see that's Isa ibn Maryam coming down at the Bab of Lud, over there in the Sham. Isa ibn Maryam, big thing. Oh, you're one of the 5 major Rasuls. Come and pray. He said, no. You are the imams of one another. I came before you. Between Musa and Muhammad, I came. Salawatullahi wassalamu alayhi. But I came, and I'm going to break that cross. And I'm going to put the jizya down. And I'm going to kill the swine. I'm going to kill that swine that these Christians eat day and night. And they sell it in Wawa, wherever. Our relatives eat swine like it's no tomorrow. And when you tell them, hey, Isa is against that. It's in your book. Yahud, they don't eat that. They say, oh, that's the Old Testament, this the New Testament. And they just make their religion up like that. We say as Muslims, no. Rasulullah came and he abrogated. So that is a special characteristic and quality of the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. From the most important ones is that he said, كان النبي يبعث إلى قومه خاصة وأنا بعثت إلى الناس عامة. In the past, every Nabi and every Rasul went to his people only. They didn't go to other people. They went to their people only. He said, where I have been sent to all of the people. وَلَقَدْ بَعَثْنَا فِي كُلِّ أُمَّةٍ رَسُولًا أَنِ اعْبُدُوا اللَّهَ وَاجْتَنِبُوا الطَّاغُوتَ. We sent to every people their prophet, speaking their language, understanding their reality. And he told them, worship Allah alone. Don't make shirk with Allah and don't follow the false deities. And that's why we say it's not permissible for the African Americans who I know who say we're the original Jews, we're the original Hebrews, we're the original Egyptians, we're the original Ethiopians, African Americans. We're the original everything. Get out of here with that, man. We're not the original. We're the original man. That's what Elijah said. The black man is the original man. And he didn't mean it of what archaeologists are saying. He's just saying we got some superiority. And really it's just reverse psychology. With all of what happened to us, let's make ourselves bigger than our reality. Be comfortable. We've been commanded to put people in their proper place. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he came to all of the people. Not acceptable for a person to be a Christian or Jew, because Isa was not sent to anybody except Bani Israel. Musa the same way. All of those prophets in the message. But Rasulullah, no. Allah mentioned in the Quran, قُلْ يَا أَيُّهَا النَّاسِ إِنِّي رَسُولُ اللَّهِ إِلَيْكُمْ جَمِيعًا. O you people, I am the messenger of Allah to all of you. And now we look in the mystery right now. We have this one from Mexico, Latino, Cuban. You've been gone so long, brother, I forgot. You've been gone, brother. We have that one, Morocco. We have that one from Bangladesh. We have that one from Guyana. We have that one is this and that. That's our religion. All you have to do is go to Hajj. All you have to do is go to Hajj. So that's from the A'zam Khasa'is, that when we look at them, those special qualities that we thank Allah Azza wa Jalla that we're in the religion that set the record straight in terms of racism and who's the best of us. And no one is better than someone else because of his color or because of his ethnicity. That's Kalam Fadi. There are a few more, Ikhwani, connected to Yawm al-Qiyamah. And Imam Ahmed is going to bring some of these in our upcoming talks, inshallah, in the As-Sunnah class. There are a few more. Special qualities for Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Yawm al-Qiyamah. From them, he's the first one who's going to be dressed. He said that the people will be standing in a plane and it's going to be crowded and no room to move. And you can't move beyond your 2 feet, everybody. And everybody's going to be barefooted, naked, and uncircumcised, the way they were first created. Our mother Aisha, being a woman who had haya, she doesn't want to be seen. She said, Ya Rasulullah, do you mean to tell us women we're going to be naked? He said, you're going to be naked as well. But it's just going to be so heavy, you're not going to think about that. No one's going to be looking at it like that. They're going to look at the reality of what's getting ready to happen. After that, he'll be the first one whose clothes will be put on him. He says, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that Allah said, in that tremendous hadith that the scholars hadith said, it was the greatest hadith of the people of Asham. When they used to, as muhaddithun, say this hadith, they would be reclining, and if they met someone, and the person came and said, tell me that hadith. Abu Idris al-Khawlani. And I told you guys this before. I want to ask you if you remember the hadith. Every time someone would come and tell him the hadith, he would sit up on his knees out of respect to the hadith. And that's what people who connect to him did. And this was a tradition of Ahlul Hadith when they said this hadith. The greatest hadith of the people of Asham in its meaning and its chain of narration. Anybody remember that hadith? It's a hadith al-Qusi. Ya ibadi, Inni, yes, my slaves, I've made oppression haram upon me. I won't oppress you, so you don't oppress yourselves. But in that hadith, Allah said in that hadith, Ya ibadi kullukum aar illa man kasawtahu fastaksuni aksikum. All of you are naked, will be naked. All of you will be naked in the dunya and Yawm al-Qiyamah. All of you are naked except the one that I give him clothes and I cover him up. So ask for me for your clothes and for covering up, and I'll do that for you. So the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam would be the first one who would be clothed. Yawm al-Qiyamah, Rasulullah would be the first one who would get over the sirat. Yawm al-Qiyamah, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam will be the first one to knock on the door of Al-Jannah. And the angel will come and say, who's there? Says, Muhammad, have you been sent? He said, yes. He said, I've been ordered not to open up the door for anybody before you. And the door will be open and Rasulullah will go into the Jannah before any other human being. Any other human being. That alone shows the level of Rasulullah. And we don't say, he's just a prophet. He's just a messenger. No, he's not just a prophet, just a human being. He's got a position with Allah, manzil with Allah. That's tremendous. But at the same time, he used to tell the people, don't go overboard in it. The man came and he said, Ya Muhammad, Ya Muhammad, you're the best of us and the son of the best of us. You're the best. And he was bigging him up. Rasulullah told the man, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, don't let this shaitan overpower you and play with you. Put me in a position that Allah put me in. Say, Abdullah wa Rasuluhu. He didn't take advantage of that man's, trying to get whatever he wants. And then we have people who we raise people above their stations. Some people deserve to be put really, really high. And some people don't deserve. And we look at some situations of people who raise the sheikh to a stage where the sheikh becomes the dalil. This is not acceptable. The scholar, the real scholar, becomes the dalil. Al-Imam al-Bukhari is not the dalil. Imam Muslim is not the dalil. Ahmed, they're not the dalil. The proof and the haqq, it exposes the reality of who's who. Who's who? The truth. It's not the men who we know the truth by those men. We know the reality of people by the truth. So I say to our community once again, don't go overboard in this sheikh or that sheikh. Don't go overboard. Don't go overboard in people. So those are from some of his khasa'is Yawm al-Qiyamah. From them as well, Yawm al-Qiyamah, as we mentioned, he will be given the Kawthar. Every prophet, every Nabi has a hold, a fountain. Every Nabi, every Rasul has a fountain. And his people will come to that fountain. Rasulullah said, I hope that my fountain will have the most people there. And that's a special quality of his ummah. We could say it's a quality of his. He'll have more people in Jannah. But there are special qualities for his ummah. Special qualities for the prophets and the messengers. Special qualities for him. Special qualities for his ummah. So for him, everyone has the hold for the prophets and messengers, but he's the only one who has the Kawthar. We gave you the Kawthar. So stand up and sacrifice to your Lord. And that Kawthar, as we mentioned to you, it is in the Jannah, and it is the source of the water of the Hawd. What time is the Adhan, Abu Anas? Right now? Very quickly. Some of the scholars said in these issues it's ikhtilaf because there's no dalil qat'i, that it's only for him. From his special qualities, they said it's only for him, is that the shaitan la yatamathalu bihi. He said, any of you who sees me in a dream, verily you have seen me. Because shaitan doesn't have the ability to take on my shape, form. They said that's only for him. But there are some narrations from the Israeliyat that Shaitan took on the form of Sulaiman and things like that. So we can't really, Allahu Alam, I'm not establishing that. But it's in the tafsir of Harut and Marut and what the Kuffar, the Yahud said, that Sulaiman was teaching magic and so forth and so on. Allahu Alam. Very quickly as well, they said that the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam was the only prophet and messenger that it is wajib for a person when he hears his name, you have to say sallallahu alaihi wasallam as much as you can. You can't be a person who's a Muslim and you never say that. And that's because, number one, if you don't say that, he said, the one who hears my name and he doesn't say it, he's bakhil. He said, anybody who comes and he sits in a sitting and he doesn't say sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that sitting will come for him hasra, yawmul qiyamah. So every time you come in your class, in your work, wherever you go in the masjid, and you hear his name, you shouldn't sit through that whole thing and never say sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He said, no other Nabi, no other, and he never told us. He said, send salutations on the other prophets and messengers. Salawatullahi wa salamu alayhim ajma'in. But he never said, if you don't, you're bakhil. But he said, al-bakhil man dhukirtu indahu falam yusalli alayya. You stingy, bakhil. You can't say sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and Allah knows best. The last one, they said from his special qualities is, it's not permissible for the Muslims to call on him and to call him the way they call ourselves. And that's not what the other prophets and messengers are. Allahu Alam. You know, understand? ولا تجعلوا دعاءكم ولا تجعلوا دعاء الرسول ولا تجعلوا دعاءكم للرسول كدعاء بعضكم بعضا. Don't call him out the way you call each other out. Hey, Abu Anas, make the adhan. Hey, Abdul Fattah, where you been? Don't call him like that. You have to say to him, Ya Rasulullah, Ya Nabi Allah, Ya Khalil Allah, Ya Habib Allah, things like that. You have to call him out in that way. It's not permissible just to call him by his name, just like that. Ya Muhammad. This is what those kuffar do, and Allah knows best. So we're going to stop here, inshallah. Very quickly, hold on, Sheikh Abu Anas. Anybody have any questions about these khasa'is, or you want to add one that came to your mind? Anybody? إذا نكتفي بهذا القدر سائلين الله عز وجل يوفقنا وإياكم لكل خير. أقم الصلاة أو أذن لنا وترحنا بالصلاة.